After that successful hunt with Bill Olson and Rick that first year, looking forward to going hunting again. I don't know just how it happened, but we were getting to be close friends with Gene and Marcia Younger and their children. And Big Gene and I reached an agreement that we'd hunt together. Gene indicated that he was going to do some scouting and find us a good place to hunt. Later he said, hey, I've come up with a plan. I've got to pick up, and I'm going to fix kind of like a homemade camper on the back of it where we can all sleep. And the all was including the two of us and Roy, and then we had talked and thought it would be good if Roy had a buddy with him. And as time passed, that buddy was invited, and it was Bill Gooseman, another good boy. Well, I don't know what the deal was, but on the Friday night that hunting season was going to open at daylight Saturday morning, Gene had some sort of a commitment to help the football game over at Evergreen High School, so we were late getting away. About 10 o'clock, I think, when we actually had pulled down the road away from Evergreen. Then we had to go out and get on 70 and get up and go over that big pass, back and forth to get it up to the top, back and forth to get to the bottom. Takes time. You see, that was before Eisenhower Tunnel. Well, he got, I think, right to where he meant to be. Said he was, and as far as I know he was. Found some level ground, stopped. We all climbed in the back, gonna sleep. Uh-oh. He's bigger, I'm bigger. Boys are bigger. I don't know. The four of us weren't fitting very well inside that homemade camper, and after quite a bit of shifting and realizing that nobody was comfortable, the boys decided, hey, we'll sleep out on the ground. You guys pull this middle section out and get some room and get some sleep inside. Okay, that's the way it was. First thing you know, it's time it was to get up so to be out on there, out in a good spot, And I say they because I had promised I'd stay in camp. Well, I told Donna, if I don't go, Roy can't go. I really wanted to go, so used the poor kid as an excuse. So those three take off. And I watch carefully early, because lots of times early when this deer will just nose through camp, nothing. So then I get the cooking going. I made a nice hash. Take the post again and watch. Nothing came through. Seemed forever, but shortly after 12 o'clock, here comes the three of them, and they'd heard a lot of shooting, but they didn't see anything. So we eat, and Big Gene says, I think you and I should go to town and get some gas. Okay. So we leave the boys there in camp, and they discuss the post that they'll take and watch the area, so that they might kill that deer that is going to come through camp, since I won't be there to do it, But we go out and we're driving around. What Gene maybe really wanted to do, and it certainly pleased me too, let's check out a few camps, see if they got some deer out this morning. Whew, boy, did they. We came to an area that had a big old chain across the road, and I mean those lengths were huge. Obviously this road is closed. Had a sign hanging off of the chain that said it was closed, but you could tell it was closed. Big camps left, big camps right. We go to the one on the left, and we're walking around and admiring the elk and the deer. More deer by far, but some elk. And a man notices that we're pretty envious. And he says, I judge you boys didn't get anything this morning. No, we didn't. Well, he said, you see that tower like a fair over there on that mountain? And it looked like maybe a mile or two over there. Certainly not more than 2. He said, that's an old a sawmill. And he said, I was just out there, just got back a while ago, and on the way back, he said, I saw a couple of deer, and he said, I didn't particularly spook them. Okay, so we get our guns, leave the pickup there, and we are going to go hunting and do. And, I wasn't prepared to go away from camp. Didn't have a cap on or anything. I had on a light coat. Well, as we're going out there, we agreed that we'd stay within 100 to 200 yards of each other and be where we could kind of, once in a while sight each other and know that we were staying together. Well, I kept losing Gene, and I'd recover him by moving back to the uphill side of the area that we were hunting. And so when we get out there around the sawmill, we go right to the sawmill and visit a little bit, and decide that we'll swing back a little higher mountain and go back to the truck. Well, but that we'll stay in a little closer contact. Well, we don't get very far, and I can't see that Gene Younger anywhere. And he was on the uphill side again. And I made a serious error in judgment. I decided to move that way a bit till I pick him up. Well, I don't pick him up, and I suddenly am aware that, wait a minute, this terrain's quite different than what we were in. You have maybe made a button hook of some sort, Dean Riggs. Maybe you ought to backtrack. Man, I look around where backtrack was, and I don't know for sure where backtrack is. And then I look up, and I can see the top of a mountain peeking down there. I think I thought that mountain was a couple, 3 miles away. Yeah, it was all right. So, I'm moving right along towards that mountain because I had in mind, I'm going to get to that mountain, see where the sawmill is, and get in gear and get back to that pickup by dark 30. Well, pretty soon I find myself dropping deeper into a valley with really heavy timber, and then I get into a section that I must have had a tornado or a fire or something. Lots of old dead stuff down. You couldn't even walk. You had to climb over, snuck under, sometimes get up on a log that was headed where you thought you wanted to go and walk it. Slow, slow going. Panic's beginning to set in just a little. This is a dry year. They say be careful not to start a fire. Hadn't even realized yet you don't even have matches in your pocket. You don't have a cap on. You don't have gloves with you. You only have 6 rounds of ammunition. You don't even have your hunting knife with you. That little old dinky pocket knife, but I didn't have a hunting knife. I hadn't gone out to hunt. This is not a good situation. But I'll get to the top of that mountain. I'll be able to see, and if I can't get back tonight, I'll tough it out, go back tomorrow.